Great to have online both Feliciano and Juanma. Hi, guys. It's great to see you. I guess the first question is for both of you. We'll start with you, Juanma. How are you feeling? How's everything?
Well, I feel quite good. I spent the last few weeks at home because I was tested and the result was positive. But I feel very few symptoms and I feel pretty good. I'm just sad that I cannot be this year in Roland Garros. But besides that, I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, someone who is a Roland Garros for his, I think, Philly, it's your 19th Roland Garros, if my maths is correct. I mean, that's amazing. We'll get onto the longevity of your career, but how are you feeling? How's the body? How's the mind at the age of what? 38, 37?
I just turned 39 a few days ago. It's true.
39. You see, I've been kind to you.
Yeah, no, it's been great so far since I start playing again. You know, it's been very tough for everybody. I think myself personally, I feel good. I was very lucky that I played a few exhibitions. You know, during the lockdown, I was able to play nearly 12 or 13 matches in France. That was very helpful for me. And then since the tour, you know, resumed, I played in New York, where I didn't play very good. I felt that I need to work a little bit on my fitness condition. I thought I was, you know, strong enough to play best of 5, but after a few hours on the court, I started to feel a little bit more tired than usual. So, and then I played one more tournament on clay in Kitzbühel in Austria, where I lost in the quarterfinals. And then after that, you know, I was at home practicing and training and trying to get myself in the best shape possible to play Roland Garros.
And I guess, Juanma and Feli, Juanma, we'll go back to you on this, but this has been the problem, hasn't it? From someone like you, a respected coach and a renowned coach, trying to get players fit enough, trying to get them mentally fit as well in a season of unknowns, really. I mean, this COVID thing has completely thrown a spanner in the works, and it's just throwing up all these strange kind of issues and things that players and coaches have never experienced before. So it must have been very challenging for coaches like you, as well as players, of course. But Juanma, your thoughts on what's been happening?
Well, yes, of course, it's very challenging and it's very difficult to work in these situations. But we have to all understand that the situation is the same for everyone. So as you know, we all have to try to find the best solutions and the best way in order to keep in shape, you know, to keep training, to compete as much as they can at the moment, because we don't know. I mean, we were for a few months without competition, and now also we don't know what is going to happen in the near future. So, you know, the idea is to keep them, you know, with having the right mentality, staying, you know, focused and staying motivated to deal with the situation and play, thinking on the present moment. Try to play as much as they can now and not really thinking too much what is going to happen next. But it's a very extraordinary situation. And for some people, it's more difficult than others. But as coaches, we have to try to make the players understand that this is, you know, a different situation, but they need to keep working like in the normal days.
But Feli, I kind of imagine what you guys have been through, and as far as tapering towards a big event like a Grand Slam, obviously US Open was in a normal time of the year. Roland Garros is in a very strange time of the year normally for this normally second Grand Slam of the season. How do you taper? How do you prepare yourself mentally and physically? We know you're super fit, you know, your longevity on tour speaks for itself, but how do you taper mentally for a big tournament, especially in a season like this?
Well, I think Juanma mentioned before, when all this, COVID-19 started, we didn't know about the future. It was a lot of uncertainty, all over the world, and we didn't really know when we're gonna be able to play tennis again. So it was very tough to start training without having any, goal ahead, because we didn't know what's gonna happen. So that was very tough and very challenging to be at home, for example, training without any goal, with no tournaments ahead. That was very challenging for everybody. Once the tour resumed like a few weeks ago, it was also challenging, but we were very happy that we can play tennis again. First, I think everybody was very happy. Of course, we are not playing under the best circumstances that we can have, but this is, way better than nothing, than not being playing. So we have to be happy to be given the opportunity of being here competing again. This is one thing. And then there is, so many different cases. Every player is different. I think this is very challenging for all of us. There is players that I think they were, training a lot during the lockdown, and they look very fit. There's other players that they're trying, to play now and to stay fit, because there's so many players that they suffered injuries during their careers, and they have to go, step by step at the moment. So still now it's a lot of, uncertainty on the tour. I think it's, a lot of things going on, a lot of new things that we haven't experienced before. So it's very challenging for everybody, especially here in Roland Garros, where this tournament is going to be played under completely different conditions that used to be played, in the history of Roland Garros. So who knows? Of course, it's still clay and still, more or less is going to be, the same. But regarding the weather, the balls, there's a lot of things that, we have to pay attention to, I would say.
Well, we'll get onto that in a minute, because there's some kind of not controversial, but I know Rafa's been fairly outspoken about these new Roland Garros balls. We'll talk about that in a second. And obviously you mentioned the conditions as well. It's going to be cold, and we know in Paris, as in Spain, as in many countries in the Northern Hemisphere, you can kind of get 4 seasons in one day. So I just wanted to touch on and the last time we spoke a few months ago, your longevity, and what is it, your 73rd or 74th consecutive Grand Slam. I'm going to go to Juanma first with this question. What does that, Feli, Juanma, and you've coached some of the great players in the game, but 74 Grand Slams on the bounce consecutively. What does that tell you of Mr. López?
Well, first of all, a lot of respect, because what Feli has proved through the years is amazing. It's something that is incredible, and for a player to stay that long on the tour, that if I'm not mistaken is more than 23 years, in the top of the world. This is something unbelievable. This proves the love and the passion that he has for the sport, because if you don't have that, that passion, it is impossible to remain on tour for many years. If you don't love what you do, is impossible to do it. The second thing is about, that he was probably from the beginning taking care of the different aspects that a professional should consider. Otherwise, today he will probably be out of the tour. He take care of all the his physical preparation, his motivation to work in the proper way to maintain himself on tour, physically healthy, mentally motivated, and everything. And also, I think we have to talk about the surrounding that he was always having, you know, the team. Starting with his family, people who love also the sport, who support him all the way through, and as well as all the people that were working with him. He always surrounded himself with professional people, and that is the, you know, I think that is the key. At the end, you know, when you put all these pieces together, the result is having Feli still, you know, in the top of the world with his age, which is amazing.
Feli, it kind of goes hand in hand with the last question about people or players. Just, you know, we spoke last time about Federer having this childlike love for the game and how he still bounces around the court at a similar age to yourself. You know, I think a little bit younger actually. But is that it for you? Is it that? Sorry, not to take the Mickey out of your age, because I'm older probably than all of you. So
no, we are the same age. I think he's a few months older, I would say. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But is that it for you? Is it the pure hunger for the game, or is it just an incredible professionalism, or you're just naturally gifted when it comes to physicality and your natural fitness? I mean, obviously it's a combination of a lot of things, but when you look at this incredible record, what do you think of most when you look back at it? And people like me are probably reminding you of it all the time as well.
Yeah, well, I think you're right, and Juan also was right, saying that it is a combination of a lot of things that I managed to put them together to be successful and to be playing that long. It is true that my entourage was great. I was surrounded by a good family, first of all. Then I was very lucky to be coached by great people that they are also good friends of mine. And it is very difficult to travel around the world, Jason, with people that you're not happy to stay with, and people that you don't get along well with them. It is very tough. So I was always surrounded by very nice people who makes life very easy for me as a player, and they were also great coaches, all of them. I learned a lot of things from all of them. That was also very important. Also the fact that I was very lucky that I didn't suffer any like big injuries during my career. Just the longest period I was off was probably 2 months and a half. This is very lucky. I mean, I have to say, of course, I was trying to do the right things, to prepare myself in the best way possible, to and to stay healthy and to eat well, and to do a lot of things that at some point you put them all together and you have this longevity. But it is fair to say also that even there's many people and many players that they were very, very professional and they were not able to play that long. So you have to be a little bit lucky also with the injuries, and this is what happened. But honestly, I did never ever expect to be playing at 39 years old and to be still in the top 50 or 60 in the world. So this is something I'm very proud, and I will play until my body says, Feli, you have to stop.
Is it the body or I wonder if it's the mind,
Yeah.
Actually following on Instagram as well, I see you posting, put a couple of posts with some nice bottles of red wine as well. So, you talk about eating well, and maybe it's a combination of eating well and relaxing a bit as well, and having that kind of that mental ability to step away from the court as well, and not live, breathe, sleep 100% tennis, right?
Yeah. I'm not that type of player who still thinking about that match that he lost, and okay,
Yeah.
I accept that sometimes, you know, it can go, you know, it can be tough, you know. There is a lot of matches that, you know, they keep you thinking, you know, for so many days. But I try not to stay there forever. I was very lucky that I was able to share my life on tour with, as I said before, with people or coaches that they were my friends. So we were also, you know, able to go out for a great dinner, to, you know, to just to put your mind away from a tennis court, and that combination also was very helpful for me. But you know, as I said before, every player is different, no? So everybody has, you know, their own routines, their own ways to be successful, and you know, myself, I was you know, very lucky, and also very professional. It's a combination of so many things. But yeah, it is amazing. You know, sometimes I wake up and I still don't believe that I can still be playing tennis. You know, it's really amazing.
But Juanma, I mean, just very quickly on that, what Feli was mentioning there, that is a real skill to be able to step away from the court and forget about a bad match. Okay, you're out of the tournament. Let's go for a nice dinner, and then we'll head back to Spain. I mean, that is a real skill to kind of compartmentalize, step away, move on. That was a bad day. Let's move on, because not everybody can do that.
Yeah, that is very, very, very important, because when you are able to balance your life with the tennis, then is when you are playing your best tennis. Because when you are too worried about, you know, your performance, your matches, and everything, you put too much energy on, you know, bringing solutions, that probably when you go on court, you are too worried about that, and you are not free to play. But when you have, you know, when outside the court, your life is on balance, and then you go on court, you feel much better, you feel freedom, and you feel, you know, much more confidence in order to play. And also, you know, for the players, it's important to understand that you're going to win or lose depending on many different factors. And it's not only, you know, thinking about why do I lost, trying to find what was my error or something. Tennis is not about, you know, what, you know, errors. It's about two players are competing, and both players are trying to beat each other, and sometimes the difference is very small. So when you are able to compete and you are, you know, free, you feel good with your life, then it's much easier to play.
Very quickly, guys, I want to know, Feli, how easy is it to pivot from hard court? I know you played Ultimate Tennis Showdown at Patrick Mouratoglou's academy and stuff before the US Open, went to the US Open. How easy to pivot? Because for us, the broadcasters or the fans of tennis is like, my God, how do you go from hard court to clay in 2 weeks? Because normally you've got Barcelona, you've got Madrid, Barcelona, Monaco, Rome, tons of clay tournaments before you head into Roland Garros. How do you do it?
Well, you just do it.
Okay, let's move on.
No, it takes time. I mean, in my case, I prefer going from clay to hard than from hard to clay. I think it's I find it easier, you know. On clay, I think there's probably more adjustments in your game that you have to do in order to adapt to the clay, because there's less tournaments also during the year on clay. So, for example, sometimes from one year to the next year, it's very long, the amount of time that we spend without playing on clay. It's almost a year sometimes. On hard, we play, for example, beginning of the year, we start the season playing on hard, then we go play on clay, and then we go on the grass, and then we're back on hard. So we play consistently on hard. So for me, it's always easier going from clay to hard. But this year has been very challenging in, you know, many ways. One of that is, you know, the fact that we have to change surfaces, you know, from one week to another, and this is for some players is very difficult, especially the players that they have, you know, problems, for example, knee problems, ankle problems. When you have your joints, the joints in your body are suffering, it's much tougher to change, you know, surfaces, to go from one surface to the other. In my case, I would rather go from clay to hard than hard to clay. But this year has been very challenging on that. I agree with you.
I guess, you know, so many players are sliding on
no
hard
grass
court
though.
now.
No grass.
Yeah,
no grass this year though.
Yeah. But just very quickly on that, you know, nowadays, and a lot of commentators were talking about it during Flushing Meadows this year, that, you know, so many players are sliding on hard court now that actually the transition from hard court to sliding on clay shouldn't be as difficult. But Juanma, you know, if I was to come to you and say, right, I've got a hard court tournament and then the next week I'm playing clay, what would be your, this is a horrible question, but what would be your kind of one main tip or advice or something you would tell me to work on if I was shifting from hard court to clay very quickly?
Well, this year, the most important thing is to accept, you know, because the difference between this year and the other years is that you change from hard court to clay court, but from one Grand Slam, from the US Open to Roland Garros. In a normal year, you're changing hard court to clay court from a normal tournament on hard court, or maybe from Australian Open to a 250 event or to a lower events. That gives you time to prepare yourself for the Grand Slams, for the big tournaments. But right now you have to do it in such a short time that the first key is to accept what is happening, try to adjust yourself as fast as possible, but understanding that it's the same for everyone. What Feli just mentioned is very important. It's about the physical condition. I mean, changing surface is very dangerous for the body. That is the most difficult part. Everything else is about understanding that this is the situation that I have to accept. I have to try to do the best I can, try to adjust my game to the new surface as fast as possible, but it's nothing else that you can do, you know. The difference between the hard court and the clay are big, because for example, you know, your serve makes a different impact on the clay than on the hard court. The way to move on the clay is also different, even though that you are sliding on the hard court those days, because you know those guys play really, really fast. But at the end, it's a different way of movement on the clay. You gotta be more patient, be ready to play longer rallies, changing the pace all the time, play with different heights on the court, the spins and everything. The court becomes bigger than on the hard court, so you have to be able to run long, you know. But this year they have no choice. I mean, they have to just go there and play. What Feli just mentioned, you know, just go there and do it, you know.
Yeah, and also it's good that as Juanma said something really that makes the difference, is that you have to accept what situation we are, you know, going through right now, and we are professionals, and we are, you know, we have skills that we can use to you know, to adapt to the situation that we are facing, you know, due to the COVID-19, that we have this calendar that we have to play, and it's challenging, of course, but we are professionals, and I think we have the skills to do it. But of course, it's not the ideal, you know, situation for us.
Very quickly, guys, I just want to get a quick word from you on Mr. Rafael Nadal chasing a 13th title of Roland Garros. Got knocked out by Schwartzman in Rome. We have to talk about it because it's the big story. You know, I remember when I first covered Roland Garros in 2014, and Martina Navratilova was in my studio, and I said, is Rafa gonna, you know, I said, is Rafa, because he came into the tournament, he hadn't played well. And I said, is he going to win this thing? And Martina just looked at me like I was a complete idiot. She said, if this guy's in Paris, he will win. Let's talk about it. Knocked out by Schwartzman in Rome, hasn't had a lot of tennis. He's got a tough draw as well. Do we see him, it's a horrible question, do we see him winning his 13th Roland Garros title, Feli?
Yes, but it will be very different. It will be more challenging for him. Yeah. But my bet is yes. Okay. I think he's still the favorite and the candidate to win this Roland Garros. Yeah. But I think he spoke about it in the press conference yesterday, that the conditions, the fact that it's going to be played in October, the balls, everything is going to be different, not only for him but for everyone. So we all have to be aware of that. But even now, and given the circumstances that we are going to be, playing, I think he's still my candidate.
Okay. And your expectations, your wants from this tournament, Feli?
Day by day, Jason. Right now, I don't want to think farther than that.
There was a sharp intake of breath there. There was like, ooh.
I don't know if you know Simeone, the Atlético de Madrid coach, that he goes partido a partido. So I take it for my tennis career as well.
That's a very good answer. Okay, Juanma, let's ask you. What are you expecting from Feli at Roland Garros? Are you playing doubles? You won the title in 2016, right? Are you playing?
Yes, I'm playing with Pablo Cuevas this year.
Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
he's got a great touch
and great doubles player as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, Juanma, so first of all, a doubles title from Feli. What about in the singles, in the main draw of the singles?
Well, I don't want to put any expectations from him on the tournament, because in the last Grand Slam in the US Open, I told the other guys on our team from Sported that I see Feli as a good candidate to do really, really well. And then he couldn't win the first round. That is, every player who plays on the tournament is able to win and is able to lose. So, so right now, for me, it's no expectations. The only thing is that I hope that he enjoy playing in Roland Garros one more time. We all want Feli to play for many, many years. But we all understand and we all know that with his age, he don't know how many times he will play Roland Garros. So the only expectations is that just to enjoy every minute he spent on the court, try to do his best, and we hope that he can count for everything. I mean, why not? He played for many years, do great things, have great victories. And the conditions this year that we are talking about, the conditions in Roland Garros are different, and maybe the conditions are maybe good for him. So I hope the best for him.
I'm gonna put a little. I'm not sure if this is insider trading, but I'm gonna make a little. Not that I condone gambling, but I'm gonna make a little bet on Cuevas and Lopez to lift another Roland Garros title, a doubles title. Hey, listen, I just want to move on very quickly. So. I just want to move on very quickly about, obviously, Madrid. It was on, then it was off, and you as the tournament director as well. What have you learned from the last few months as a businessman, as a tournament director, and we've spoken about as a tennis player, but the whole Madrid affair and then the government calling a halt to it. What did you learn from that, Feli?
Well, it was a roller coaster year. Honestly, we started the year with the cancellation of the tournament. Then we announced that we're gonna deliver the event in September, which was great because September is a great month with good weather, and we were hoping for something something very good considering, you know, from where we're coming from. You know, we canceled the event in May, so. But you know, then after the lockdown, the situation in Madrid, where in the whole country, but especially in Madrid, started to get worse and worse. So for us, honestly, we didn't see any reason to go ahead and to do the event, and that's why we ended up canceling the event. And if you see Madrid now, the situation, how the situation that they are, you know, going through right now in the city of Madrid, I think we were right. So we made the right decision. And as I've always said, you know, I think the health it's always the priority, and it's been our priority always. In every decision that we've made regarding the Mutua Madrid Open. So I think we were right by canceling the event this year. Let's hope for the best. And we are working already on the 21 event, and let's see how this COVID-19 situation, you know, what we can expect for 2021. But we are hoping that in May the situation will be much better than it is right now, and we can deliver a nice event and for everybody in Madrid and everywhere in Spain. But I think we made the right decision.
Let's move on, Juanma, to Sported, and Feli's mentioned the outlook for 2021 for him and the Madrid tournament. What about for Sported in this ever-changing circumstances with COVID? We hope a vaccine is found soon, but for Sported and moving forward into 2021, what's the plan? What's the outlook?
Well, we have a difficult year this year because of the COVID, like everyone else. And for next year, we are, you know, just working hard in order to provide the services that we were building, you know, in the past for 2020. We have to move everything to 2021. We are working very hard to make the Sported Tennis Academy grow in Singapore, and also to work in our methodology to help Singaporean players to develop. Also, we are planning different activities, you know, for coaches education. Also, we are having like a tour to Madrid for next year, trying to
I'm coming.
Trying to connect, you know, one of the best events in the world. With some fun and some social activities all together within the Sported family. And yeah, we are working hard to have a good year next year.
So so let's put you guys on the spot then. When hopefully, God willing, COVID, you know, we can kind of keep a lid on it, and the vaccine, I think we're just going to have to live with this thing for the next few months, but you know, we can find a vaccine. So when are we going to see Feliciano López and Juanma in the Lion City that is Singapore, Feli?
Well, I hope this by the end of this year, maybe. My last time there was February this year, so
yeah.
I might come for, you know, the end of the season to see everyone there in the academy, to visit Singapore again, and to see how, you know, the situation that it is in Singapore right now, where I think everything started to get better a little bit. It is. So this is very good news for you guys, for the people who live there, for everyone in Singapore, but also for us, for Sported Academy. So maybe by the end of this year, we see you guys again in Singapore.
Yeah, Juanma, very quickly on coming to Singapore, hopefully.
Yes, as soon as the COVID situation is clear, Feli and I we are hoping to go there as soon as possible. The good thing is that the Sported Tennis Academy doesn't depend on Feli or myself. I mean, we are working from from here, together with the team, which is in Singapore. We have a full trust on them, and the academy is going. So we are just supporting at the moment, but we hope that soon we can go there and support and connect with people.
Yeah, I'm trying to negotiate with Sergio and Srini and Maciek and Bea, the coaches, about some coaching for my 3 children, by the way. So and as far as I've now invited myself on the trip to Madrid as well. Hey, listen, I very quickly I want to, Feli, you're going to become a daddy soon, and it's amazing. It's awesome news, and for all your many fans across Southeast Asia and around the world, you must be incredibly excited.
Super pumped. It's amazing, man. When we first noticed, I couldn't believe it. I thought my wife, she was just, kidding when she first told me, "Hey, Feli, I'm pregnant." I couldn't believe it. So it's gonna be a year, full of new things, full of emotions, and this is something amazing, and I'm really waiting for my wife to give birth and to see my kid. It's amazing.
Fantastic, guys. We're gonna leave it there. Feli, you're playing a qualifier, I think, in the first round. Daniel Altemeyer from Germany, I think.
Yeah.
And I guess the thing, and Juanma, you'll agree with this, is that when you play a qualifier, they know a lot more about you than you know about them, because they can watch you on YouTube. They've been watching you for years as well, right? So that it must be difficult for someone like Feli to take on a qualifier, because this guy's an unknown quantity and he's got nothing to lose as well, Juanma.
Well, yes, of course. I mean, there are a few things to consider. On one hand, the qualifier already played 3 matches on Roland Garros, which is important to consider, because already have 3 victories, the experience to compete over there with the conditions, with the balls, with everything what we were talking before. So we have to respect the opponent. On the other hand, he's playing his first main draw in a Grand Slam against one of the top players in the world. So he, on the other hand, he's gonna respect Feli a lot for sure. And I'm expecting a good battle, but I hope that Feli can control the match and still own the tennis court,
Yeah, this is after your US Open prediction. Anyway, moving swiftly on, Feli.
Yes.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling ahead of when are you playing? Tuesday? You playing Tuesday, are you?
I play Monday.
Monday, okay.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to rain all day tomorrow. So so probably all the matches in the schedule for tomorrow, they will be postponed for Monday. We'll see. But on paper, I play Monday, yeah.
Okay. Did you have a hit under the roof on Châtrier?
No, I haven't played there yet. I've been practicing, 2 days outside Roland Garros at Jambuan, the new club that they just built next to Roland Garros. And then today I played on site, but I played once very early in the morning and then another one just now. But I haven't played in one of the big courts yet. But I was watching Rafa a few times on Châtrier, and the new court looks amazing with the roof, and I think it will be very helpful, to have the roof this year.
Guys, we're gonna leave it there. Thank you so much. The fans here in Singapore and all over the world are going to be super pumped to have seen you guys and to hear from you as well. And Juanma, stay well, get better. Please look after yourself. Feli, go, vamos, Feli, and good luck with being a daddy. It's awesome.
Thank you for your time, both of you. Get well, Juanma.
Thank you very much, and enjoy Roland Garros.
Yes, I
Bye
will.
bye.
Team Sports.
Bye, guys.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye bye. Bye.